G'day everyone, it's Adam from Oz Commercial Sewing Machines. I just thought I'd do a quick startup video on how to get started with your PS 1933B walking foot machine. We can see we've already removed our bobbin case. Okay, so it goes in underneath the machine here. You can reach in underneath. There's a nice big opening there, you can take that out. We've got our empty bobbin up on top of the machine here. So you can see up here we're going to go through our threading. So when we go from our spool, we go up, we come through the back of the eyelet here and through the front. Make sure that our thread stands nice and perpendicular so our threads pull off properly. Okay, we come down, we're coming down through the rear eyelet here. And around through our tensioner. You can see here we need to make sure that our thread is through our tension unit, and then we come through this second eyelet. If it's not in there, if the thread's just running around the outside, I don't know if I can show you, then you won't get a decent tension when you're winding the bobbin. The bobbin's going to be loose. So you can see that thread's not actually in the tensions, and it's really loose. So if we give it a tug, now we've got good tension there. So once we come from there, we've got our bobbin here. You can see I'm just going to push our bobbin on just a little bit. Now this bobbin hasn't got any holes around the top, so this is the best technique. We wind our thread from the closest side to you around, so in a clockwise direction, around a few times. We're going to put the thread underneath the bobbin, and we're going to use that tension to pinch that thread. Cut our tail off. So now our thread's wedged underneath our bobbin, so it's going to help us start the bobbin. We also have a cutter here which you can use to retain the thread when you're not winding a bobbin, or to use it when you finish your bobbin, you can use that to cut it off. So here's how we activate our bobbin winder. Okay, now the other thing we have to do is we have to make sure our presser foot's up. So we've got this machine of course has heel back, and it's got our servo stepping motor driven presser lifter, and also our knee lever here, but also has the manual lifter which is at the back here, which is this large lever. It's nice and light, and it actually is one of the only machines that auto releases. When you lift the foot, it actually drops, which all machines used to do, but they don't seem to anymore. So that's a great feature. But there we've got that lifted up. Now we've got a space underneath here so that we don't our feed dogs aren't chewing away at our feet. So we're now going to run the machine. We're going to fill our bobbin. Okay, and we'll keep running our bobbin till our lever flicks off. There is an adjustment on the top of this screw here, adjusts how much our bobbin fills. So if it's not filling fully, or it's overfilling, you can make adjustments to that, loosen that screw, and there's a small flap here you can move in and out, and that will just adjust the fill. Okay, so we've got our bobbin here. We stopped it short because we don't need a full bobbin for this demonstration. But what we're going to do is we are going to remove that tail. That was the bit that was wrapped underneath our bobbin before. So we don't want that to foul up in our bobbin case. So we trim that off. Okay, so when we drop our bobbin in, we want to make sure when we drop our bobbin in, this one amazingly has some arrows on there, that's very convenient. We want the bobbin to spin clockwise. So that's looking at this side, where you can see the bobbin. So we want to spin clockwise. We want to make sure that it's clicked into there. And you can see there our bobbin easily holds up its own weight. It's quite firm. It will change with different threads, but so that's that just drops a little bit. So that's basically where you want it to be. You don't need it to be too tight. Okay, so again, clicked it in there, and you can feel that nice bit of tension there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave ourselves about an inch, 2 inches tail, about 50 millimeters. Now once we open up our lever and we wedge that in there, our bobbin can't fall out. Okay, there's a little latch there that holds our bobbin in. But make sure your bobbin's right in. If you do that and your bobbin's not right in, for example like that, then you actually stop the bobbin from going in. So release it, allow it to push right in. You can see that it's flush. And we've got it wedged. Now we're going to leave that tail over the back there, and we're going to clip our bobbin case in underneath. Before we do that, but you can see actually, because we've been running the machine, our needle's down. So I really don't want our needle there. So you can heel back on the pedal and that'll bring it up. Or if you like, you can use your needle up button, needle up down, which is your second button up. You've got your reverse at the bottom. And you can do a quick push. If you do a longer push, it'll do a full stitch. If you do a quick push, it'll do just a half stitch. Okay, so needle's out of the way now. Now we can put in our bobbin. Okay, we're going to do our upper threading. So on this top eyelet here, depending on what thread you use, this is a spun polyester. So this thread's actually really soft and supple. A lot of people are using bonded nylons and stuff like that, which are a lot more abrasive. So you might find you don't have to go through these three eyelets. I generally only go through just two with this particular thread. If you're using a bonded nylon, you might find you only need to go through one, because what will happen is it's so coarse or abrasive that sometimes when you cut the thread, it can leave a very short tail, and you can't, it won't start after when you go to begin, the thread will pull out of the needle, and that means there's too much friction along the way, along your threading path. So this one we're just going to we're going to spiral over. So you can see we'll come through the front, we've gone over, we're going through the front again and over. Okay, see it's spiraling through there. We're going to do a similar thing for our little pre-tensioner. This should be very, very loose. This is essentially for our, a little tiny bit of tension there, that's enough. This is for our, just to aid in our cutting mechanism. So we go through the front again, and through the front again to the bottom one, so we're doing a spiral again. You can see that. And then we're coming down through our tension unit, going through this last guide on our little pre-tension unit, and then down to our main tension unit. This is what we adjust to regulate our tensions. Now with this machine, it has a tension release, but it does time out. So what I tend to do is I lift my foot. You can see there my thread's gone in. You can actually almost hear it click. You can see my tensions are tight now, but if I heel back, they're loose. And you'll see how, there you go, see that they've timed out, see how they're tight now. So if you want to open them again, you just heel back again, and now they're loose. Up over your check spring. There we go, and you can see I've caught my check spring, you can see it moving. Underneath this L-shaped bar here, underneath that assists in regulating our check spring. Okay, we've got an eyelet here. This eyelet there's an eyelet either side to keep it away from the take-up lever. We're going to go through our take-up lever now. You can see our take-up lever is in the top position. Now you can see our thread's actually quite tight to pull, because our tension system is ready to sew, but we're still threading, so we want to release it. So heel back on your pedal or lift your knee lever, and our thread goes nice and loose. Pull through the amount that you need. Okay, so we're going down through our guide there on the front. There she is, that one there. Now we go through, this is our nipper. This is what shortens gets rid of our tail when we start. It's a little magnet. A lot of machines, automatic machines, have this now. Now it's hard to see our guides. What we can actually do is we can actually either, we can just drop the needle, we can sew a stitch. Our machine is going to drop our needle, and that allows us to see our last needle clamp guide. There we go. Now, of course, the problem is we can't see our needle eyes, so we can hit our needle up button. There she is. Now, the needle that comes in your machine, I generally swap them out for a 130. Depends on what type of thread you're using. They come with a 140. But a 120 and a 130 works well for this particular thread. Now, what you can also do now, we can lift our presser foot, our manual lifter up at the back. And then if we just do a quick stitch, 2 pulses there, you can see now what's happened is we've brought our bobbin thread up. So we've done a half stitch and then a full stitch. There it is. Now if you left that a little bit too short, of course, you wouldn't be able to pull that up, so that's why you need it sort of 50 plus mil long. It doesn't matter, you can leave it, make it 100 mil, doesn't matter. Okay, there's our 2 tails. As a rule, I don't tend to put the thread down through the hole, but that's just being lazy, but you certainly can. So you can see they've just put it down through the needle hole. Both our threads are there, and we're ready to go. Okay, so we have a bit of leather here we're going to sew because we're pretty much ready to go. There's a few things you can check before you start. Probably the most important thing is to maybe pop another bobbin on. I would recommend when you're looking at buying threads that you buy two, because you can have your other one, your other thread on your thread spool or your thread stand, and you can be winding a bobbin as you sew. So I'd recommend getting your second bobbin going. If not, wind two or three before you start, if you only have the one spool of that particular colour. The other thing we're going to check is we're just going to look at what we've got on the screen, how we want to start. Our stitch length, at the moment you can see it's 5mm, so we can have it where we want, 5.5. You can see our back tacks aren't on. I'll push them on so you can see. There's our start back tack, and that's off. Peter has done a video on this panel. This is exactly the same panel that's on the 1987B, which is the light duty machine, and also is identical in every way. Just the stitch length, of course, is much longer on the walking foot machine. So you can see our back tacks are off. There's nothing here. We've got needle down when we stop. Our cutter's activated. Our nipper's activated, which is our little device here, which I mentioned. And we're in straight stitch mode. Our speed is here. So if we're doing some slower work, we can slow it maybe down to 1,000. And essentially all the other features here, Peter's already gone over those, but that's a good thing to check. You might have been on a different job before and now you're starting something different, so just check where you are, what you're up to, what you want to happen, what you want the machine to do, and most importantly, you always need to test before you start sewing, because your tensions could be a little bit different for different thickness fabrics and different types of thread. Okay, there's that tail. You can see there, our tensions are spot on. Okay guys, so that's essentially your startup, going through your bobbin filling and your general threading. I hope it wasn't too fast. Just pause the video if you think it was too fast. If you do have your machine, any ladies and guys out there that have this machine and you want some more videos, just send us a message attached to this in the comments, and we will generate a new video on a particular subject if you like. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Cheers.